Hey everybody, Randy here with Academia Christi, back with another episode of the Viri Christi Garden Update. This is the weekly update. This is October the 19th. It's a Thursday. And as you can see behind me, I have a bunch of stuff. If you didn't catch one of the last videos, I have a bunch of stuff now in here, chilling for now, up there. But I'll probably bring these out quick for today, maybe even into tomorrow, as we'll see. Just about 56 or so right now. Should get up into the 60s today. Should remain, I think, in the 50s overnight. So we're going to, keep this stuff outdoors for a day and a half ish, and then we'll be bringing everything pretty much in for the winter probably. Some stuff we might be able to take back out. It actually looks like we're going to get very close to our first 32-degree night, but after that, it's supposed to go back into the 60s for maybe a couple days. So we'll see what that is like. Yeah, so anyway, let's just get into it. Like I said, this stuff is going to be coming out shortly. And I will be fertilizing again everything, probably maybe one more time that I'm going to be keeping, at least to try to go like a lot of the peppers that I just want to get some out of that I haven't gotten any out of it, those certain varieties. But in here, we don't have any of those yet. They're still all outside. We have our single potted California Wonder, our single potted banana pepper. Both of those are going to be kept. Got our Gen 2 Cayenne, which is going to be kept, still fruiting. Got our still fruiting fish pepper, which is probably also going to be kept because it just looks so nice. Look how massive it is. It's very nice and bushy. These nice cream colored peppers in there. I've been producing really well. Got a lot off of it so far. That one looks like it's starting to ripen a little bit. And then our two basils that I want to keep. I'm pretty sure that this one can be perennialized. I'm not sure about the regular sweet basil, but we're going to bring it in anyway and see what happens. It's looking really brown now. I don't actually see very much new growth at all, but maybe we can change that whenever we fertilize. Maybe some newer growth still on this red basil, maybe just on the spots where I didn't cut it back recently. Who knows? But yeah, we'll see if a new shot of fertilizer helps anything out. Got our one of our the only ghost pepper from the hydroponics. It's out of the unit now. I have one more in there that we'll be bringing out, putting into probably another one of these. Got our two December peppers, not doing well. Last time I really looked close, they did have some flower buds. Oh yeah, there's a flower there. That is the Serrano. So they are still kind of doing something, and again, those will be fertilized as well. Just fertilize whatever, unless I just get rid of them. I don't know yet. I got our two poblanos from the hydroponics here. This Anaheim chili is the other round 2 hydroponics pepper. Matches those that are right down here. This just had a few peppers come off, the first few from the bottom. Has several up here that are looking pretty nice. Gonna try to keep this one. I don't know if we'll keep it for good, but we might keep it one more year or over winter, or just for the early winter. Who knows? Let it fruit a little longer. Same with these poblanos. I might try to keep one until the end of its life, five years or whatever. Both of them again fruiting nicely. This one has a big old broken branch there, big pepper on the end of it. It's sort of holding up, I guess. I'm going to keep it on there as long as it lasts, I guess, because there is a big pepper that maybe will ripen soon. That'd be cool if it started doing that, and then I'd take it off and that'd help the break. Both of them doing really nicely. This one, actually, that big pepper is also from that one. This one has a bunch of smaller ones. And finally, we have our yellow hot wax here, banana pepper. Well, hot banana pepper, that is. It's actually got several flowers on it. Finally, it's doing something. It's had just this one pepper for a long time. Really looking tiny, spindly, not very leafy. This basil is supposed to come in with me. I left it out here last night. Oops. But it still looks like it's okay. I have the other small pot of basil, which is the red basil, inside already in the kitchen. Up here we got the oregano that's almost dead. I decided to keep it. I actually watered it yesterday. Got our sage, which is looking really, really nice. Probably gonna maybe last a little longer now in here. Got back here, this is the that's the ahi lemon branch that broke off. I'm just kind of trying to root it in there. I don't know if it'll work. Got our 2 marjoram that are still doing things. Should cut them back. Got our fish pepper that's really long and not doing anything. Oldest of the fish peppers, the newest of the 3 fish peppers. A little bigger, doing a little bit. We had one decent sized pepper come off. I think just one so far. There's the next one that'll come off, I think. Still could plant something, I think, in the other side here. I'd like to, maybe just by seed at this point. Got the ring of fire that matches these fish peppers, planting wise. The other bonsai chili, but I just cut the whole thing off, and we'll see if that little piece does something. Ring of fire cayenne. Then we got this poblano, which was a late bloomer. Gonna move it into something once I have some kind of pot open for it. I guess it'll come in with me, but I do have those other poblanos, and I was thinking about keeping one, and I don't really need 2 poblanos. Although I could try to experiment with like a mini poblano, since that's what it is right now. Got our 2 parsleys, which are looking great. Looking a little less great now after the couple cold nights and the row cover on top of them. And then finally our lavender, which is also looking really good, just comparatively. We got our banana pepper here, still doing. Again, need to fertilize everything. It's really droopy, but it's kind of perked up recently since I watered it. Can use that every now and then. And then last thing in here is our very first hydroponics. One of the very first hydroponics, the biggest of the jalapenos. This is like harvest number 2.5 for it. Not necessarily the 3rd harvest, but like the 2nd and a half. Looking really great. Tons of flowers still on it. A lot of peppers that'll be growing, and again, it'll be coming indoors. This is one I'm pretty sure I'm going to be keeping as long as possible. You can tell it's one of the best looking potted peppers. Well, again, one of the oldest. And actually the only single potted of this age. So it has, again, some damage because of my row cover. But that's my fault. Could do a better job with it next year. It'll be better. More well planned out. I guess I'll also show real quick. Yesterday I grabbed a couple peppers and got a little bit of a harvest. These are all the Jimmy Nardellos, first Jimmy Nardellos. I was hoping some of them were at least starting to ripen, but I'm not seeing much changing. Oh, that's a little darker yellow there, maybe. This one looks like it's changed the most, and that's okay, I guess, because it does have this blemish. I would maybe like to even use that quick if I can. A couple of Aleppos from the old Aleppo, potted Aleppo. Cherry bomb from the potted cherry bomb. I think actually maybe the first one we took from there, perhaps. A couple new fish peppers. This one was a little older, but these were all newer, fresher fish. Again, a potted pepper, and this is from the potted cayenne that's over there, the Nature's Edge Gen 2 cayenne. So yeah, one of the Gen 2 cayennes. Oh yeah, and 2 California Wonders. One other one that's like a little, just a tad smaller than this one that's inside already. Yeah, decent. So a bunch of sweet, well, at first had a bunch of sweet peppers, then we got a few more mild ones here, hot ones. Again, just posted a video of me just testing 11 of my pepper varieties, going up to the hottest one being an orange habanero, so definitely check that out. All right, I'm just going to go quickly through all this stuff again. As I always say, parsley, some other dry herbs that I started myself. Wormwood, some moss phlox, some patience, some ornamental stuff. My marigold that I started by myself by seed. These peanuts that we just checked and found that I have like 2, 3, maybe like 3.5 or so peanuts grown. That's cool. So those I'm gonna dump those bags soon, maybe today. I'm gonna try to clear all this stuff up as much as I can today and tomorrow, because this is like it. This is it. More stuff. Coneflowers, geraniums, 2 lavender, 2 of each of those things. Lemongrass, really want to do something with that before we're out of time. One of our 4 massive parsleys growing in this planter, which was my herb planter all by itself. Now it's like, okay, I will just take this thing over then, if you don't want anything else in here, sir. I mean, this thing is massive, just massive. It looks like a big sprawling celery. Probably, I mean, look at that thing. You dip that thing in some peanut butter. We'll be looking at my celery in a bit. Oh, this is my chard, which hasn't actually been tried by anybody. See, some of these older leaves are looking old and eaten. Something is eating them, not somebody, but something. Got some new leaves still, and this is basically right now just the chard. I should just pull this prize head lettuce. The chard, yeah, the chard is looking great, and it's cold, pretty cold hardy. I think it can even deal with a bit of frost, so this might just hang out outside. We can always, of course, have a few things outside that we can cover just all the time for the night or whatever, whenever it's needed. I was going to use this for indoor leaf lettuce through the winter, which probably will still happen once this chard's done, but I do want to see what's going to happen with that now. Again, these tomatoes pretty much done, but they're a good way to see how close everything else is going to be to being done for the year, because they're uncovered, they're in pots, and they're tomatoes. So if they die, it means everything else is going to be very close behind. This is done, but this isn't really a good gauge by itself. Actually, this is my early girl that was actually very late and stunted from the hydroponic. All of these are hydroponically grown, started. This will be dumped out soon. That is our black trim. Not looking very black ever. Never did. Slightly starting to die off, I guess, but it's still looking great, honestly. Very tiny tomatoes, though, is the problem. These also probably could have used fertilize. It's been over a month. That's kind of when you want to do it. So I kind of missed the sweet spot again, as always. We have some nice. These are bodacious beefsteaks hybrids from Burpee. Fantastic. Both of these can be plucked. That one just started to ripen there. This one definitely started ripening. Looking great still, plant-wise as well. And next to it, we have another nice looking one still. Wow, Brandywine Red. What happened to you, sir? Just a giant chunk of it gone. So that's crazy. I don't know. Well, I don't really know how much was there. I can't remember. I mean, it probably wasn't massive, but it was something. Something substantial. It looks like another piece there gone. Huh. But this is the plant itself. See all those, it's actually like split off. I don't even know. This is a sucker here. I think this is the sucker. It's actually really hard to tell which one is the main one at that point, but they both look nice. That one is probably the main one just because of the way it's growing. But a lot of nice tomatoes. None of them ripe quite yet. Looking a little darker than the other Brandywine Reds did. I hope that one might be pickable there. We have a bunch of Romas, very tiny Romas here, but Romas, they still are. The plant has had enough. It's produced very well. It's been one of the best, along with the cherry tomato. Produced, I couldn't even count. It's been a lot. It's been a decent bit. Probably more than 3 dozen for the cherry. A little under 3 dozen. Over 2 dozen though for the Romas, especially counting what we still have here. I mean, because even this 2, 4, 6, 8, 9 is actually 9 right there. So that's pretty good. And 10 if you want to count that little guy. Nice. The cherry tomato, I'd probably say did the best. It's still going. Relatively strong. It's very large. You can see it's just sprawling all over the place. Doesn't care one bit. I could try, if I really wanted to try my hand at overwintering tomatoes, it'd probably be that one. Cherokee Purple, first one to start fruiting, had a lot of problems. First one to start dying. Still has green leaves on it though, so I don't know what to think about this thing. I think it's just gonna die soon enough at this point though. I think it started sort of trying to recuperate from whatever was going wrong with it. And then again, it started getting cold, so it just didn't have that chance. Didn't have long enough to come back. These guys all the same kind of. My Amish paste here, the super sauce, and our heirloom beefsteak kind of all went off. Well, especially the Amish paste in the beefsteak went off really quickly, grew really large really quickly, even though the beefsteak came out later than the other ones. They had a few nice big tomatoes come off, and then that was about it. Then they both had maybe a few small dinky ones like you see here that ended up making it okay. The super sauce, I waited a long time. I was very skeptical and growing more so by the day, the way this thing was going, but it eventually ended up having a couple tomatoes that looked edible enough and ended up getting to the point of ripening that it actually was quite a success. Maybe there's a couple that didn't do much. I'd say this was a little better than those. Over here, look at how our strawberries are faring. I'm just going to bring these 3 in soon so that I don't have to worry about them anymore. If they live inside, like overwintering them, then they do, and that's cool. If not, then they don't, and that is less cool, but I guess it's okay. The potted guy is looking decent still. He's also going to come in. No reason to keep him here all winter. I'd probably just move them all in the same time. Should cut him back a little bit. Look at that nice green growth in there. Beautiful. Could probably cut all these back a little bit. They could probably use a bit of a manicure. Right, here we are at the just uncovered potted stuff, outside potted stuff that I still have out here. I'll first note the Thai basil here I was just talking about that I just brought out of the garage now. So it just came out. Everything else was covered and out here already. Hoping that this will, because I just did it recently, hoping that it'll soon root in there, reestablish itself, and really take off, hopefully, during the winter months. But it's a perennial, so we do have to keep that in mind. Hopefully we can kind of get it back to like a normal growth period, because it's supposed to grow obviously during the summer in climates like here. So maybe it'll be, like one really long season for it, or maybe it just won't really. Maybe we'll just have to start winterizing it this winter or something. Who knows? Let's check out what is still out here. We'll start right here with our other first batch of hydroponics. The jalapeno, the solo jalapeno, is inside on the porch. These are the ones that go along with it, these 2 bags here. Both have been outside. They haven't actually been outside all that long. That's where most of the leaves from this jalapeno went, from sun damage, just from being brought out a little too quickly after it spent most of its time this summer on the porch. Same with this, but it didn't get as damaged, for maybe just because it's lower to the ground. It's a little smaller, might be why. But yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not going to keep either of these, so I'm not sure if we'll see really anything more happen here. This guy will start ripening soon, probably, actually, and that'll maybe be it. Who knows when we'll really throw it out. I don't know. Haven't decided on that yet. Here we have our pot, 2 basils, and a parsley and a dill, all from the hydroponics early on. The dill, again, it took me a long time to realize that I need to top the dill to keep it bushy. So none of my dill really worked out that well. They all got really long before I realized that. The parsley, like all the other parsleys, has really shot off recently. Plucked it back, used some because we wanted to use it. I didn't know what was really going to happen, and then all of a sudden they all took off like this, so it was nice to see. Got these 2 basils here as well. Don't know what that's about. That might have just been me topping it. The Genovese, I believe, kind of hard to tell now, and this, but I'm pretty sure the Genovese is much bigger at this point. And then the large leaf Italian, which has some flowers on it. Yeah, again, this one probably just going to let these go. If I could just let them go to seed, that'd be great. That would be the plan. First, let's go over here to our spearmint. Again, kind of dying off. I do mean to bring this in kind of earlier than the others, but again, it's nice now, so it can stay out. Got a couple peppers here. I'm gonna, yeah, let's just go over them now, I guess. Got two that have been in these pots for a bit. I think they were started mid-April. Kind of some of the only April plants that I actually had pull through, unfortunately. This is our Hungarian black, which has produced really well up to this point. Again, it's cold now. It's mid-October, going into late October, which is well past our average frost. So weather's kind of trying to hang in there. Got some flowers up here. That's cool. Again, with some fertilizer, maybe we'll see a few more peppers if we have the room to put it in for early winter. I don't know, again, how many I'll be winterizing. I don't know how many I'll just be bringing in for the early winter and then letting go a little later. But either way, this pepper has been really great. I wouldn't mind keeping it for next year. Again, yeah, so if I can, I should probably just winterize as many as possible, especially if they look like this. Just take a look at that thing. Oh my goodness, it's a beast. In a pot, year one in a pot, and not just year one for the plant, but year one for me as a gardener in general. I would certainly take that. I mean, you would trim it back, maybe, I don't know, maybe around here somewhere. You keep like this shoot maybe down to like there. Keep like these other ones, just small bits of these other couple ones down here. Keep a few of the offshoots, keep enough of the main trunk for those offshoots. I think that's all you really need to keep to winterize. And then you just need to have like a dim kind of location that doesn't freeze. I'm pretty sure that's really all you need to winterize. So we're going to be trying it if we can. We're certainly going to be trying it with some. The other pepper that was the same kind of the sibling of this one came at the same time, was done the same way. The only other one to survive is this Aleppo, which we just saw a couple of its peppers that recently came off sitting in the porch area. Here's another one that I could have taken off, can take off now if I want. And actually, now that I'm looking, there are a couple other ones, but they're all small right now. That might be the last of the nearly ready ones. Everything else looks like it's pretty fresh. So yeah, this will be our last Aleppo for now. Oh no, there's this one down here that might also come up soonish. But yeah, not bad. The Aleppo is also produced really, really nicely. And then over here we have our Ahi Limon, which would be in the line with the rest, but it is a bit different because it's in this black plastic pot. And it's just a different pepper in general. It actually, really looks quite different in many ways. Its leaves are like kind of more broad, I'd say. I mean, I guess the chinens have their own kind of leaf variety as well. I thought I also saw, maybe not, kind of seen, oh yeah, maybe. It seems like there's tiny little hairs on the ends of the leaves. The edges. It's really hard to see with the camera probably, but it's really hard to see with my eyes, so I'm sure it's hard to see with the camera. See definitely the different looking flowers, peppers in themselves. This is Capsicum baccatum rather than Capsicum annuum or Capsicum chinens. And again, hoping that this will be good in our mountainous climate. Here, finally, on this side at least, but this is one of our many ghost peppers, which doesn't have anything happening other than some flowers. But again, it's one that I can bring in with me and maybe overwintered, but before that I will just be trying to get a few peppers off of it. And then probably we'll try to overwinter it, as I will probably do with many of these things, particularly all the habaneros all the colored ones I haven't even gotten to try yet. This are one of our two vipers, or the smaller one. Actually looking horrible. This is probably from the cold. My guess is that maybe the chinens varieties can't handle it quite as well as some of the annuums. We come over here now and check out first our Jimmy Nardello. We just saw a few of those. I'm hoping are ripening on the table. There's two here that look like they're at the same place as the other ones that I picked, but I kept these on for now. They're actually both growing at this initial juncture there. So the first two, they should be about the same time for that reason. Then we have our shishito. You can tell the cold is definitely getting to these guys, but maybe in the maybe with the next day and a half or whatever, maybe they'll start bouncing back just a little bit. And again, I think I'll have enough time to get fertilizer in all these guys, hopefully today, but if not, I think tomorrow will work as well. And then we'll start making sure that they're all indoors somewhere for when that cold hits. Shishito, yeah, we do have a few fruits on here. Not quite ripening, I don't think. Nothing looking too, I'm assuming they get red-ish. At least something other than green. I don't see anything happening. Same with our Greek pepperoncini, which as you can tell are very similar to the shishitos. And yeah, I think they're just very similar types of peppers, so that's why. And also very similar spice range. Those are also about the same place in their ripening, I would say. We've actually had one of these Santa Fe Grandes, not from this plant, but we have had one from the back. These don't look like like the one in the back got yellow, like a nice waxy kind of creamy yellow pretty quick. These have not, so it leads me to believe that they're certainly not ripening yet. And they can go, I believe, the whole way to red, but they can also, I think, stop at like a creamy yellow, or just maybe they can only stop at an orange, but I've seen just orange ones. But of course, as most peppers are, you can just pick them whenever. You know what, you usually want to wait until they stop like their initial growth process, but that's usually easy to tell whenever they stop growing, and then whenever there's like a decent period between their growth ending and their ripening beginning. So you can pick any time between there as well. But of course, if you do that, you probably want to use them quick, because they do, in my experience, tend to wilt if they're not ripe yet. They wilt much quicker. Our Cubanelle here, not a whole lot happening on this one. It's not looking great. Maybe some fertilizer will help out. I think that's really the case with that one and this one. Look at, it's crazy compared to all these that are next to it, especially because those are like nice deep dark green foliage. And some of this is also perhaps by variety as well. But that one, while they've always kind of been lighter, these big Jims, New Mix big Jims, this is way too light, obviously, because these leaves are like dying. But actually, these big Jims are actually coming up. These may be the first ones I've seen. I don't know if any of them in the back are actually fruiting yet. So, not completely terrible, I guess, since there's something there. But we do definitely need to fertilize, that is. Probably another one ready on this cherry tomato, on this cherry bomb. No, I thought maybe that one. I thought it had another one. Maybe not. Because it is, that one should be next, but it's taking a bit. I don't like the look of it, the stem there. I don't like when the stems start doing that. So I'm not sure. Might pick that soon. And that maybe, I don't know how much the cold might affect, or might cause something like that. Serrano here, getting a bit spicier. A bit of a jump there between these two. These are looking okay. They're looking all right, I guess. Nothing huge. It's actually one of the better looking plants of Serrano, so that's cool. That's cool that it happens to be the potted one, bagged one, so it'll be coming in. Hinklehots here. Hinklehots here. 1, 2, 1, 2. They're not looking huge. Yeah, no, we haven't had any of these yet. Sydney's crying like somebody just came, but I don't see anybody. So, yeah, I don't know. We're going to have to wait a little bit for that. But, yeah, I haven't tried the Hinklehots yet. Definitely want to. Peckin, haven't tried the Peckins yet, but something tells me that some of these Bailey Pekin are going to be ripening soon. There are some that look kind of nice in the back as well. We'll be back there. Maybe we'll get lucky and see a few varieties ready that we haven't had yet, like last time. This Pekin though, nothing yet. Again, I really like the structure of both of these. I really like the structure of this thing. Is just looking, surprisingly, it's almost looking better and better every time I look at it. Even though it's getting colder and colder, it's hanging in there. And these are some of the ones that I'm kind of most concerned about. Again, I'm pretty much concerned about all these small potted ones. But some of them I guess I have actually tried, so if push comes to shove and I only have so much room, the things I definitely haven't tried yet will be top priority. Thai, Bailey, Pekin, Hinkle Hots being 3 of those. And the Charleston Hot probably, because it's another one I haven't tried yet. It's looking much better, just like the ones in the back. It seemed to take a while to start fruiting, but once those fruits started, they blasted off. They're getting pretty big. I'd like to see them maybe be, it's easier to monitor this when it's not cold and or they're in the indoors. Well, we're not at either of those, but we're kind of in between those two right now. Soon to be at the cold part and just having them indoors mostly. This is my doubled up banana pepper next to the doubled up California Wonder, just as we saw the solo potted ones that are in on the porch. These are, yeah, doubled up, so I'm not as concerned about them. Again, if I have plenty of space, then I wouldn't mind overwintering them. But yeah, at the moment, not too concerned. This is the last pepper between the two of them actually to come off. Oh wait, there's also this tiny guy here. And they don't look all that bad. I kind of like the stockiness of both of these California Wonders here. I wouldn't doubt that they would start doing more if and when I fertilize them. I don't know if I'll do the ones that I'll probably just do everything, because why not? Because I don't exactly know what I'll keep. Pekin, Thai, and the Charleston, those were the hottest up until we get to the habaneros here. We come over here to our orange habanero. Look at those. Got some habaneros on there. That's not so bad. I mean, they may even end up a little tiny, but whatever. Got a couple. And again, the habaneros actually tend to drop a lot of leaves from the cold, more than many of the others I've seen. I'm not crazy about the structure. Again, a lot of damage at the top from the floating row cover that wasn't floating so much. But again, if I bring it in, it's in a pretty huge pot, and if it just has the right atmosphere, I can see it picking up and going pretty crazy. I loved the taste of my very first, I'm pretty sure it was my very first raw orange habanero just by itself whenever I did that video. Amazing flavor, but because of that, I also want more of all the other colored habaneros, so I know what all the different ones taste like. This is the white. Yeah, it should be the yellow one next, but it is the white. The yellow one is the same heat. It should be about the same heat as the orange, but not as low of a floor. The habanero orange goes down to 100K. This only goes down to 200K to 350K. I think this guy, the white, is like 200 to 450K though. Maybe not 450, maybe 400. But it definitely goes a little higher than the orange and the yellow. Neither of which, the white or the yellow right here, have any. Actually, there is that little tiny guy growing in there, right there. That's all I see though, none on the yellow. This red one though is also still pretty good, and it'd probably perk up really nicely if we got it some warmth, got it some fertilizer. But I still don't see any fruits on this guy either. Okay, we got flowers all over the top. Weirdly, it doesn't have a whole lot of flowering down here. It took it a bit. It's got flowering over on these suckers that are now all over. There's 4 of them on each corner, pretty much. Then we also have basically four prongs, and then some. But there's like 4 main prongs right now, all flowering too. But down at the first prong and the next 2 prongs, we do have 2 flowers here, which should be then the furthest along. Not great for the red, but again, it could bounce back nicely. The worst of them is what is labeled an orange habanero. It's actually the chocolate habanero, which is looking horrid. I am hoping that it will do something at least. Oh my, look at that. There's a flower. That's what we're looking for, obviously. That's what I'm talking about. That is probably our first orange habanero flower. At least first successful. There's a couple there, as there should be on habaneros. There should be multiple in each spot, like cherry tomatoes, in that way, sort of. That's the Thai basil again. And then finally, over here at least, we have our ghost pepper, which again, these the row cover really kind of kicked these guys in the butt. 2 ghost peppers growing right there that don't look half bad. Those are the first ones we got, although, yeah, it's just a leaf down there. I don't really see any more pepper. We're going to have them on these suckers here, but I don't see any other ones on the main stalk. And this one I was actually starting indoors over the summer because, well, at the same time I started the other ones, like early summer, because I wanted to just practice with the grow lights a little bit more. So we just had this one in there. Again, it's going to come back indoors though. Has a couple peppers on it. The thing is that now they're at a point where if I bring them in, they'll at least be able to finish their fruiting cycle now. That's about what I'm looking for. That's all I'll get. That's fine. Here, next hottest after our ghost is our 7-pot Jonah, the only 7-pot Jonah we have. The ghost is about 1 million, goes up to about 1 million Scoville. This goes to about 1.2 here. And I see there's some decent bundles of flowers all over the guy, just not any fruiting too largely yet. Some maybe are fruiting. I don't really see any yet, but I mean they would be these guys right here. They do, yeah, that one is right there. It's gonna be a while. Maybe the chinens, maybe if done correctly, the chinens are a little faster. Here, finally, our 1.4 mil Scoville Viper. This is the biggest of the 2 Naga Vipers, the bigger of the 2. Not fruiting there. This other one looks like it is, though. It's quite the wilted flower. Don't want to pull off because it might be a little cold right now. It's actually pretty good, probably. One thing, of course, that I should have done, not only with my in-ground stuff, but these guys too, was mulch them. I could always, if I got some straw, that is something that would be really good to put down for these peppers. If I were to keep them out, if I were to have some kind of structure that they could stay in for a bit. Yeah. So anyway, that's that. That's these peppers and whatever herbs are here, just a couple herbs. Going to be bringing all those other things out. I don't know where I'm going to put them. We'll be uncovering this. I need to take a quick break, but I'm going to do that during it because I need to charge my phone again, of course. And then we'll come back and this will be uncovered. And we will also have to wait on the home garden. We'll look a little in depth at that, not too in depth. See all our runners here on our massive strawberries. Look at all those crazy runners. These are our regular white flowered everbearings. Again, gonna leave the strawberries for now. Hopefully we'll be out before anything else gets it if the kids aren't. You see huge, massive strawberries still ripening. Oh boy, look at that thing. I'm taking this myself. This is mine. 1, 2, 3 Toscanas. Also everbearing, I think. And then we got our red flowered everbearing here. Not looking as good as the white flowered ones. Same as the Toscano, not looking as good. They're starting to perk up a little bit. This red everbearing, maybe it just looks a bit off because it has such long flower or fruiting stems on it, which is a great thing to have, of course. That means we're gonna have more strawberries. There's a nice one there. But yeah, I'm happy with the year 1 strawberry patch. Honestly, it worked out really well. Worked out pretty much just as well as the other intended market items did this year. And I didn't really intend this as one of the market items, just as the beginning of one of the market items. So our seedless Concord grapes We're looking decent, and I guess I forgot to mention last time that they got ravaged by Japanese beetles. I mentioned one of the videos, but not the one we actually looked at this. Ravaged by Japanese beetles, and started kind of coming back a little bit. You can see obviously they have some leaves, and then the Japanese beetles, I guess, died off or something. I guess maybe it held off. Didn't grow very much this first year. I don't know how much it was supposed to grow this year. My first year, at least. It has to be its second year at least of life, because I didn't grow all this woody growth is not from me. We bought it like that, so it was obviously already trimmed back once. Marigolds, those are definitely my handiwork. You see a bunch of marigolds I just noticed bunched up in there right next to it. They just become marigold patches. It'd be cool if we could get these things. Same thing happened to this Concord grape, seedless Concord. We did lose this marigold, but we did, I think, oh yeah, we have one tiny guy here. Maybe we'll get a couple, another one there, self-seeded. Well, I guess we don't need to actually trim this pack. There's no reason to trim. There's nothing to trim. Might as well just let it grow. I mean, my grandma has massive grapevines. She's never trimmed them once, so, and they do great. So I guess it's going to be okay. See these marigolds, seeing the end of their year. A lot of dead flowers up there, but that means a lot of flowers that have fallen down. A lot of seeds, that is, that have fallen down into the very weedy ring there. A little less bad looking than the grapes, I think, just because the tree's further off the ground. I'm gonna probably wrap these or something before the winter. I do actually have a wrap. I just don't know how effective it is, but if I don't get anything else, then I might as well just use that, do something. This tree's looking pretty good, all things considered. It only had one apple on it. Maybe that's why it ended up looking pretty decent. It actually had a decent amount of growth up here during the year, while this one was fruiting, and I should have just not let it do that. But I did. Marigolds are looking great. Not that that means anything really when the tree looks like this. It looked even worse though whenever all the apples were at the top of it. Weighing it down, partially may have been from the wind, but I think a lot of that was due to the apples, and it's unfortunate, but maybe, just maybe, I can fix that. There were like a dozen little apples on here though. The fact that it has like no leaves left anymore already worries me, since that one is still full of leaves. So that is definitely concerning. I should show you though that we've now moved everything out. There's everything that was on the porch either out there. I mentioned I might move it around here, but I decided just going around the fire pit, and smaller herb, like I said, the herbs, smaller peppers as well up here on this. And I moved these over a little more to give all the peppers that were down there a little extra time in the light, because again, some of them were already losing it that were on the far end. And that's that, so they'll stay out for the remainder until tomorrow, actually probably Saturday, till Saturday afternoonish, or whatever time I get a chance between raining to get them in. Anyway, here in the home garden, we have, of course, as always, the front centerpiece is our rhubarb, which of course at this point dies off at this point in the year. You usually only harvest that till about mid-June or whatever. And surrounding the rhubarb, that is our mustard, which was two varieties, but it was mostly one because we had two rings of it. The inner ring mostly didn't come up, but the outer ring was fine. And actually now at this point we can probably tell which is which if we look close enough. If we get all of the outer stuff first, then we should be able to tell which exactly is the old-fashioned. But we can also look out here and see this is all, I think, self-seeded. It looks like all self-seeded green wave. Over here is more self-seeded green wave until we hit this point, and then we got the old-fashioned. More ripply leaves like that. Green wave is more giant, and these stink bugs are constantly on my stuff. But the actual first sowing of the mustard obviously done now. We've still only gotten a little bit of it cut out, which is not much at all. It's like a little bit from this area. My goal, and this is what I wanted to do a little more of before I did this, was to get all of this out to open up these jalapenos that have been surrounded for a long time now. Hard to even see them in there, but they're in there. And then there's definitely this one by itself here. This, I'm led to believe this may have been a cutting of the sustainable sprout, because they're very large. They're very large. And we're going to be able to grab a few more today, so that's cool. We also, nice lavender still here on the ends. We also have a bunch of cayenne to harvest, and I would like to do that before it gets dark out this time, so I can actually see what I'm doing a little better. Used a headlamp, but that is not much. Most of these Gen 2 Nature's Edge cayenne, except this fella on the end here, not sure what that guy is. There's our Maglobe that is done out here in the, this is our very first tomato. Oh, look at that. Oh boy. One more. Maybe. There's got another one up here too. I'm going to take that off, though. I don't know about that. You know, and this is at some point, I think I'm going, because I'm going to just leave this in the ground. I think I'm going to chop it back like you would normally do to overwinter one of these guys. Here we got our basil. We never cut it back, so I guess I just, in that case, I'll let this one go to seed. See all this fallen basil down here. This fallen wasted basil. Well, again, I wonder if you could do something like just drying this, and it still smells really good. The basil does look nice. Again, it would be great if I could save most of it and maybe just chop it all down and dry it. Back here we had our, well, of course we have our lettuce, which we kind of thinned out the dead ones. Maybe even do that again soon. I would like to let some of it attempt to self-seed. But again, I think it's going to be way too late now at this point for whatever does self-seed to do anything. Kind of needed it to already happen at this point. Then, of course, we had some beans and some peas back here. We don't really have much of either left. Maybe a couple peas toward that are still kind of overtaken by some of the lettuce. And then only a couple beans really, that is. Wow. Some kind of aphid or something maybe there. There's a big fat one, but that's a dry bean. I'm going to just leave that there. These are all, again, pretty much done. Ooh, wow, that's a big bean there. I do have all the beans. I never brought them in when I did this earlier, sitting there still. Left a bunch of the remains of the beans in here still, because I just don't know what else I'm going to do with this spot. I'll just let it die off in here. Just like a green mulch, I guess, or a green manure. Some peas, but this is basically what we got with the peas. They're long. There's some other ones that are much longer. This one, I guess, isn't one of those. Do have something happening though. Had a ton of beans this year, even though we planted them late and only a bit of them. We had just a load of them. Peas, not really. We had a few because they got overtaken by the bib lettuce that fell down. The very tall bib lettuce amongst the other tall lettuces we had. Zucchini are finally done, I think. Oh my goodness, there's more on it. There's more growing still. What is this? It's crazy. You're supposed to be done, you summer squash. It's not summer anymore. Again, trying to kill off a little bit more of the grass as we go. Doing that as long as possible into the year. And into the next year. One nice marigold, two nice marigold. I think we got everything covered except our celery. But before we do the celery, let's swing over here to our 3 California Wonder Bells that came in kind of late into the ground here, but not super duper late. They each had a decent looking bell on them, and because of that they didn't get super big, and then those bells all ended up with like bite holes in them, chew holes in them, so I threw all of them out. So not only did it set back each of the plants trying to make those fruits, but the fruits didn't even come to fruition. So wasted all that energy for nothing. So that's why they are where they are, probably. And also because of the just late planting. So our celery, looking nice. We still need to come out here and start chucking away some of these. Look at how big some of those are getting. We need to come out here and get them. Some of them started getting eaten. I think it was actually from this plant, but it's looking really nice now. Starting to look better, I should say. No, it's that one right there that doesn't look nice. But yeah, and you got another one right here. It's overtaken by some of the mustard, but still doing decent. Another one in there. Again, I'd like to, there's a one down there too. Oh no, that might be the same one. Yeah, it is. Oh man, those are some chunky stalks. It lost one down below. But those are some nice stalks. I gotta probably harvest some of this today. I also want to point out this guy here. I'm trying to think if this was maybe where I had the initial row of celery, because I did do those like really early celery. Not sure what this guy's about here, but it's a little celery for sure. It's definitely celery. Anyway, that's that for this home garden. All right, we are back here in the quote-unquote market garden section of the yard. For now, we're going to go over this. This is our last bit, the market garden bit. Marigolds and the ends of our cucumber patch, which is now overgrown. Yeah, the cucumbers, they didn't actually do too well. I don't know if I touched on this last video, last large update, trying to recap the 3 months of lost footage. It was a few. We actually made some quick pickles. They were really good. Ate several of them, but I was definitely not impressed with the cucumber harvest at all. I was even less impressed with the melon harvest, which was none. Got 2 cantaloupe in the back and 2 in the front. The 2 in the back are just gone now. Oh, I can kind of maybe see it dead. These are not doing any better. Well, this one is, I guess, still like visible at least. I think the cantaloupe, out of the cantaloupe, watermelon, and the honeydew, I think they're supposed to be the fastest. I'm going to go quickly. These are all the watermelon. I'm going to quickly go to the honeydew here on this side. Doing just as bad. Did have that one and another one I did by seed. I don't know where the other one, which one it is. But then I had a couple that were transplants like most of the other things. It was those 2 that were by seed, I guess. This melon, I mean, it's actually still pretty solid. This is the rest of this plant, so it's not doing great. Got our watermelon mostly. Well, there were more crimson sweet that were all in the front. There's one here. There's a sugar baby, one of 2 that I think are left here. It's actually looking one of the nicest, and I think actually, yeah, last time we were out here, it had a couple female flowers. I highly doubt they did or will do anything, but I mean, it's nice to see how well they may have done if, again, it was in the proper time. That is why it's looking like it is, and I think this would have worked really nicely, trellising them up our fence here. It's a really good use of fence, in my opinion. Should use it for something. I did also mean to actually have sunflowers lining the back. I never got to it, but it's okay because it wouldn't have been any sunflowers that were really that great anyway. Next year, though, that is one of, maybe I'll touch on this if I remember at the end of the video, a couple things that I do want to get into actually doing a few different varieties of next year, and sunflowers are one of them. Lastly here, I'm just going to mention these little marigolds that we had self-seed. Didn't even plant these guys in the ground. I guess maybe I still could. But I don't necessarily need to, because they did an okay job just dropping seeds. We have a decent bit. They'll be much better even next year, as long as they hold out, drop some seed, and the seed holds out. Really, that's what it comes down to. If not, we'll just have to redo all our marigold patches, but I'm kind of hoping I don't have to do that. Hello, Blue Jay again. Yes, sir, I opened up your food. Are you happy? I don't know where he is, but he's over there somewhere. Up there somewhere. Oh, is that him at the very... It is. He is at the very top of that pine. Hello, sir. I see you up there. Hello. I will go first to the tomatoes. You see now our patch is uncovered. Looking pretty much like they did last time, I'd say. Not a whole lot of difference. I am seeing it's a bit easier to navigate these back two rows here. These two that are together, connected, like next to each other, I should say. 6 rows. There were paths between the two, the middle two, and then the end two. Now they're gone. I do want to mention before I get into the tomatoes, and I should have cut this big root out while I was here, but I was back here giving a little bit of a trim to the surrounding area. But yeah, so it looks much more open. I won't be hitting, namely this tree. That was actually one of the worst ones right there, hitting my back on it all the time. It's just kind of a nuisance more than anything. I did mention in past videos, this is just one of 2 spots that have a really nice view, so it wouldn't be the worst thing to open this up for good permanently and like put a nice bench right back there. But I think next year, as we try to clean up the actual gardens themselves, we want to at least have an idea and start working toward getting the surrounding area cleaned up as well. So we have some nicer paths, walkable paths at least. If they're not nice necessarily, so something walkable. So this place is accessible. Walkable paths through the gardens this time. We're actually going to be trellising if we end up with things that need trellised in this area. Enough about me. Let's talk about tomatoes. Again, got an amazing harvest this year from these guys. If I put them in the right time, and I was out here collecting more often, and we used them before it started to get too late and they started to go bad, the amount would have been quite substantial indeed, and we would have probably been selling them, because if we would have been giving all of them away, that would have been done somehow, and there would have been, again, if it was also early enough, there would have been so many, we would have probably needed to sell them. There would be no other way unless we just wanted to give literally a buttload of tomatoes away for free, which that would be strange, because that wasn't my goal. The reason it ended up being what happened was because I didn't really have quite enough. I mean, I guess again, I could have sold some if I really wanted to. But I was just happy to supply those around me with some free stuff. My more immediate family, my sister, my parents, my grandmother, and then my priest, a couple other close friends in the parish. And so I was able to, just give it all away. Give everything we didn't really need to use away. It was still good. A decent amount, as I expected, tomatoes out here still. And also, as kind of expected, got some pest issues still continuing. I was talking again earlier just a bit about, didn't sell, but another nice thing I think about that, I mentioned in an earlier video, is that it does give me just a bit of a chance to get my product out there. First year grow product, let people get a chance. And again, I'm just giving and will be selling to very much local people that it not like even really out to, companies or anything. So allowing them just to get a taste of what I'm doing year one for free seems like a decent marketing scheme. It might take a bit of money at first, initially, I guess. But you know what? I think that because of the way I did it, I saved quite a bit of money. I didn't really use much at all, considering what I think I was able to accomplish, and considering what I could have accomplished based on what I did do and didn't do and could have done. Yeah, we are just gonna, keep on harvesting here. I'll be back in a bit. I do want to touch on, though, quickly as I go through all this. Look at all these beautiful tomatoes that are fruiting, ripening all over the place. I mean, they are still loaded. But what I also wanted to point out, other than that, was the nice size, the nice look of these other two doubled up rows of tomatoes. The ones that that are still looking decent of the 6. I mean, the two in the very first 2 rows put in are still producing well. They're just on their way out right now, I think. But these guys they still look like they got a couple weeks in them. If I can do this right and the weather permits, I don't think I can manage I might be able to manage a 32-degree night, but that would be the bare. That might be the maximum. I wanted to show one more quick thing before we end up just harvesting the rest, and then I'll show you what we get. Here, in these rows, most of what I have left are going to be grape types. But look at these monsters in here. Oh my goodness. This is getting picked because it started ripening, and that means that something else will come try to get it before me. Has some kind of spot on it. I don't like the look of that, but I love the look of that. I have a relatively large hand. That is a large tomato. It's a good 4-inch diameter tomato. Ah, no. What is that? Why did that happen? Anyone know what that's about? That sucks. It's one big nice one. This one's still okay here. This one is okay, and it has a little bit of yellow on it. It's getting picked too. I don't want anything to happen to this one. So 2 massive tomatoes. Got a couple small guys here. I guess they're good enough. Only small little rips in them there. Take all of them. I don't care anymore. Taking them all. Nothing else can have them. They're mine. But that's it. Just wanted to show you those massive tomatoes. Got a couple other nice pastes on the other side there. Okay, I think we got them all. They do look very unripe. They may look very unripe. There are some that are definitely more ripe than others. But yeah, most of them, if they didn't start ripening, it's because they already fell off and I just took them. But most of them had at least like a tint of a different color, and usually that's all it needs. And they will ripen the whole way, and they'll stay good until that happens. So it's fine. Got more that we can probably even pick tomorrow before we have to cover them again, or maybe Saturday. But let's get into the peppers and finish this thing off. So here again, the overview of our patch. I'm gonna go back up here and start as we normally do. You see everything is very sideways again, probably worse than it was before. Some of it just because of the ground cover laying on top of it. Again, we have our little habanero corner up here. I think it is yellow, red, which have 2 each, and then that white one there. But again, those aren't going to do anything. Very tiny. Got our in this first row, all pepperoncinis. This one got eaten. That one not looking good. Not looking good. Those were already small to begin with. This is another of the small, the only one really doing anything now. Actually, looks like that might be fruiting slowly, ripening, that is. Nice, decent sized one. Not nice, but decent there. Decent one there. Not gonna have a whole lot of pepperoncinis this year. We're gonna probably do a lot of these. We're gonna probably do a lot of all the very, very, very mild ones next year, because I guess it's gonna be easier for people to eat those, I suppose. But we're also gonna be doing a bunch of the super hots still. Don't worry. But yeah, not terrible. I guess there's gonna be a few if they can survive the frost, the very light frost. Got our California Wonders up here, bell peppers. 4, 5. Maybe 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 of them. I did pick a couple off of these. Actually, I might have picked one off of each, or maybe I just got 3. But they were pretty good, so I'm happy about that. They were nice. I'm basically done now. All these things are gonna die off this year, so you know, what are you gonna do? It's what you get when you plant hot weather, warm weather stuff in cold climates. You can at least get them, but they're not going to overwinter for you. That is not what I want to see. Should I pluck this? Should I pick it off? Or, you know what I mean? Like, is it just done? Or let it go? Pick it off and eat it? It's to pick it off and eat it, maybe. Cut it up at least. It's too bad because it doesn't look like it's begun to ripen at all. But still edible. Maybe this will be the Jimmy Nardello that we taste first. That's what these are, of course. I guess maybe I didn't say that. Jimmy Nardello's here, which we pulled several off from the back here already. More on the way for sure. Those two are looking quite nice there. These the slightly bigger plants, a couple more there that look like they're going to come off soon. Tiny guy, and a couple other ones that were small but actually not bad. These two at least, the other one was. These are not the worst. It's actually looking a little light, but I don't know if that's from ripening or not. Might just be, I think I saw some other ones that were like this. Yeah, has like a weird white tip to it there, or base. Yeah, I think that was the only one growing, so probably done. Not gonna see anything from those. Whatever. Again, I just threw random seeds that I got from the store-bought pepper in there, so I was just surprised that they did anything at all. Here we got our shishitos first. Nothing crazy. Oh wait, there it is. Thought there was some on here. There's the nice one. Not ripening yet. Another shishito. Here's a decent sized one. Again, not ripening yet. It's really what we're waiting for, obviously. This is where we took one of the Santa Fe Grandes, our very first Santa Fe Grande, which actually had a little bit of spice to it. I was happy for the what is supposed to be 500 to 700 Scoville heat units pepper. With a little bit of a tingle to it. One that I would like to get another one of so I can make people try it and say, listen, it's just a little bit. It's just a little bit. Not as bad as the one I made you try last time. Trust me. These are looking really nice in here. Okay. Oh, that one looks like it's starting to turn a little bit. It's also starting to cork a little bit. Looking good. Looking good. And then we move to our 3 Cubanelles, which the Cubanelle we have in the pot is doing not well at all. This one, that's a nice looking one right there. They look a lot like pepperoncinis, kind of like shishitos, but they are a tad spicier than those. This one got ravaged. It was set back for a bit, and I was actually kind of okay with that because it was nice and bushy still. It was growing really well, and then it lost like an entire prong there. So, and that was relatively late. Now it's just done. Too late for it now. This is by far the biggest Cubanelle we have, pepper wise at least. And surely that thing will soon be ripening. Ooh. And we're gonna have to keep an eye on that. Up here we got our Hungarian blacks, looking horribly sideways. The peppers are not bad. A little on the small side maybe. I haven't really had any Hungarian blacks bigger than that though. So maybe they don't get all that big. I wouldn't be surprised if some of these did actually start ripening soon. They seem to be quick ripeners. And again, these are the ones I like to push on people because they are sweet. I haven't had any that were actually mild at all, even though they can apparently be like from 100 or 200 to 2500. I haven't had anything that even tasted like spice. Maybe some other people tasted a very small hint, maybe, but I don't even know if someone else did. These are my Numex Big Jims. Looking better than the one in the pot that's very, very light and kind of losing foliage. These are actually a decent green color, but not really doing anything. That's the problem. The one in the pot actually has a fruit started on it. These guys do not. They're very slow peppers, especially compared to the ones right next to them, those Hungarian blacks. On this side, we got our 3 poblanos. This one not producing a whole lot, very long, got bent. A little less long here, got a little less, well, actually probably just as much bent. And also not producing anything. This one here does, oh, I thought it actually had something, but it doesn't either. 3 long poblanos that didn't produce anything. But again, we have the 2 older ones that are in the pots that are actually coming with round 2 now. Round 1 was just 1 pepper each, but round 2 is looking nicer. And we do also have that really late blooming poblano still in a small pot. Maybe we can get a couple peppers off of that too. And then finally here, our Anaheim chilies, like our other potted ones, same age as those poblanos. These obviously doing much better than the poblanos here in the ground though. Anaheim chili in the pot also though, as we saw, has another batch of chilies coming. This is still by far the biggest Anaheim chili we got, looking massive. Can't wait for that to come out. These are the ones that I had people try, and I sincerely thought that they wouldn't be that bad. I thought they'd be able to handle them okay, but I was mistaken. So we'll stick with for now we will stick with well, if we had some big Jims, maybe some big Jims, but maybe, you know, the Cubanelles, the Shishitos when they're up, the Pepperoncinis when they're up, the Hungarian blacks. Really lame, huh? It's like none of the fun peppers at all. We'll have to get some more mildish varieties so we can experiment with some other mild ones. Here we got our cherry bombs. They are pretty bomb. This one doesn't look like the other cherry bombs, even though they all came from the same pack of seeds. And all the other cherry bombs look like cherry bombs. That one looks like it's ready to come off. Tempted to pick it. That one could probably also come off, that little guy. These little things all had theirs come off really, so they're pretty much done now. These are all cherry bombs. There were 2 batches of them that I did. The first batch, the small ones, they were very stunted, very late coming out. I just took so long getting them out. Here we have the rest of these are Serrano, 7 of them. Some of them looking quite nice. We haven't had much luck with Serranos so far. Mostly my fault. But these are kind of promising if they can survive. There's a couple on here. It's supposed to be 10 to 23,000 Scoville heat units. So pretty hot. From a little over the hottest jalapeno to a little under the hottest or the mildest cayenne. Over here we got our hot banana peppers, Hungarian hot wax, looking quite nice. This one not as nice, but these are looking pretty nice here. Nice wax peppers. Some of them look like they could be pulled, but I keep getting it wrong, and they're not actually ripening yet. They should go to a different color. I'm pretty sure they should work the same as banana peppers. Here, these weird shaped Aleppos, and then we have 2 more Aleppo plants that have more normal shaped chilies. I mean, that one's not actually very normal shaped, but more normal Aleppo shaped. This one is, I don't even know what to say about that. As somewhat normal Aleppos. They're very long Aleppos though, longer than the ones I had before in the pot, which did quite well. And here we have Hinklehots next to Hinklehots. And I'm just going to assume that there are none done yet. Some of them look like they're coming close to the end. Of course, I could be wrong. Could be very mistaken. Same with these. Oh, just ripped a flower off the top. Same with these Bailey Peckin, though. I really want to just pull one of these, maybe that one, and test it finally. See how it's getting a little lighter purple now? Maybe that means it's ripening. I want to pull it. Two of those, just like the two Hinklehots. And finally at the end here, two Ahi lemons, lemon drops. The only Capsicum baccatum species I got, and still, I came out for a sneak peek earlier and I was looking at these. Still no ripening ones, but a decently sized one there. And we saw both of these, decently sized one there. The biggest one there probably of all the three, the one potted in these two. Not ripening yet though. I'm assuming they go yellow. They are called Ahi lemons. Anyway, another one growing there. It's looking good. I'm very excited to see how these do as the weather drops compared to the other ones, seeing as they're the only baccatum species peppers we got. Up here, because I ran out of space, I put the next line in the hotness, which is our Thai chilies, Thai peppers. Well, dark green, certainly the color they are. Peppers, light green is like the very tiny guys. And the dark green, and I'm pretty sure, yeah, they go red as well. So the Thais, these actually aren't as good. They don't look as nice and big and bushy as the one in the pot. That, of course, will have the advantage of actually coming indoors with us to finish its fruiting. And probably also be overwintered if I'm lucky. Got nothing growing on these Charleston Hots, 3 Charleston Hots here. So the one in the pot's definitely beating out this as well. So we have these, check these out real quick. These jalapenos that didn't work out so well later in my pepper brand experiment. I think I just ended up pulling whatever was growing on this one. These cayenne as well were late ones, these 3 cayenne. One up here, which actually has peppers that might be ripening soon. This one is, it might not be ripening soon, but there's definitely peppers there. I don't know where that was from, but it sounded awful close. And then one more cayenne here, which has 1 pepper, but... And then we get to our habaneros. There's 3 of these as well from the later pepper brand experiment. Leaf. Can't remember what this one is and what this small one is, but I know that this last one is a Rebel Gardens, which was looking the best, but these 3 aren't going to have a chance to do anything. I'll just say right now, most of these habaneros and whatnot aren't probably going to have a chance to do anything in the ground here. We have 2 from the yogurt containers here. That's a match to the one that's growing in the pot. You can see leaves falling off these like nuts. That seems to be what happens with, if not just habaneros, maybe all the Chinense species peppers. Oh, look at this though. We actually have a couple. This might also be Rebel Gardens now that I think about it. I think it is. And it is definitely. Got something on there. Now we get, these are just, I think all Nature's Edge orange habaneros. There's 3 of these. Again, nothing that I see other than that aphid. Another one doesn't look good, and a third one that doesn't look good. Leaves falling off all over the place. Then we move to our colored ones. This is 2 white habaneros, which also look terrible. Luckily the one in the pot looks okay. This looks like it's been eaten a little bit. Maybe it's just dying back on the ends, on the tips. This one looks even worse. White habanero struggled a lot. And then we have 3 reds down here, which again, the one in the pot's not great, but looking better than these, since these are just looking horrendous at this point. Just way too late for them, I guess, in the year. I didn't abide by the rules close enough. If I was a little closer, but, you know, things happen sometimes. Next year, guys, next year. There's 6 flowers right here. That's awesome. A red habanero, another red habanero there. And yeah, then we went to the yellows, put them up here toward the oranges, milds next to the mild, more mild next to the more mild, hotter next to the hotter. This yellow has nothing. It has flowers, that's it. See, it has a big stocky stalk, one big stocky stalk, and then finally branched off. Same here. And you're really not going to see flowers, from my experience, until that 2-prong starts. So yeah, we can tell pretty easily that there's nothing growing on these yellows. There's actually 4 yellow habaneros. This is the last one here. Nothing though on any of them. So even though the yellow habanero in the bag isn't really that great, it's better than these, I guess. Finally, 3 ghost peppers. There's one in the black pot that matches these guys. Started in the seed starting units, the 12-unit seed starting units. And again, nothing on these ghost peppers. Well, that's okay, because we have enough ghost peppers potted up. Anyway, pepper brand experiment time. Let's just go quickly. I'm not going to actually pick anything, but you'll know which ones I pick. I'll point out the ones I'll come back for in either today or later today or tomorrow. Did I show the cayenne that are growing over in the... I did, right? Well, if I didn't, there was just still a crap load of cayenne growing in the home garden on the side over there. Just so you know. Nature's Edge 3-2, nothing looking there for the jalapeno. Sustainable Sprout 3-2. Would be surprised if there's none here to get. Get out of here, aphid. But it doesn't look like there are any on this one. I mean, we might have other Sustainable Sprouts, but yeah, I really thought that there'd be another ripe by now. Could probably pick that one if we want. Great peppers though. Serena seed. Smaller peppers, but they are there. Chilling. Well, actually, still don't see anything ripening. See a big old black spot on that one. Never know about that. Never know what that's really about. And then Rebel Gardens, not a bad one here, but I don't think there's any currently. I think we might have taken a couple off of this 3-2 Rebel Gardens, but yeah, not right now. We have the Nature's Edge 3-9 that was cutwormed, looking good. Nothing ready yet. Sustainable Sprout 3-9, which was actually I thought had the most, but maybe only a couple came off of this. The most was still probably 3-2 for the jalapenos. Serena seed, still not doing anything, but still some better, maybe even some bigger peppers on here than the last one, perhaps. Rebel Gardens also cutwormed 3-9. Love how beautiful these peppers are looking. It's actually probably the best Rebel Garden, maybe the best Rebel Gardens. It's just easier to see, perhaps. Then we go 3-16 Nature's Edge. Still doesn't look like there's anything on here. Wow. This is kind of loaded, so that's cool. But maybe down here, and maybe some of these tomorrow. If I come out tomorrow, a couple of these I'll probably just end up taking because they'll be a day further along. I'm not seeing much though. Sustainable Sprout. Also some decent sized peppers, but again, I think out of the 3 Sustainable Sprout jalapenos, this has the smallest fruits. Still nice size though. Serena seed. A nice Serena seed. They've all been decent. They've all been pretty good. Cannot complain. Look nice. The peppers aren't huge, but the plants look nice enough. Definitely would look even nicer if they were trellised properly, or even just staked a bit. I'm still not too sure about this guy that had several gnarly looking peppers come off of it. They actually don't look completely terrible still. I meant to pickle them a long time ago. I still haven't, so maybe they're still okay, and maybe I can still pickle them. Maybe that means that all these are going to be all right too, which means this Rebel Gardens actually has done pretty well. Although the reason I picked most of them was because I wasn't sure about them, not because they were ready. Here, the Cayenne 3-2 Nature's Edge. Don't see any red or any hint of anything going on here. Look at that Cayenne there. Completely doing a complete 180 right off the bat. It's hard to see. There it is. Destroying the plant to show you that. Look at this. Oh, that's all right. Serenity 3-2 because there's no sustainable sprout. Serenity, the best Cayennes for our experiment. Rebel Garden. Many Cayenne came off. Most of these plants had Cayenne, several Cayenne come off at this point. This one will have more coming off. Several more coming off. I might. If I can get them easy enough. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Not. There we go. Big chunk of dirt. Just gonna have to remember these are Rebel Gardens. And oh, I got a leaf. That's all right. I think it's all good. A little dirty, but it's good. I'll grab this one too. Might as well at this point. Tipped one here, but that is this Nature's Edge 3-9. That one may have had the most peppers come off. The Nature's Edge 3-9. Nature's Edge in general, I think, has the most. But the the Serenity size means that I would say it's definitely Nature's Edge 3-9. Looks pretty good. Already has a couple more coming up. This is the first sustainable sprout 3-9 here, and it has one. It has had a few also come off of it. That's the only one I see right now, though. Not the most substantial plant for sure. Another Serenity. This one had several come off already. I think this was the furthest along. Again, massive plant, massive peppers. Rebel Gardens, again, we might as well pick these two because again, Rebel Gardens. That is a ripened pepper. And this is me. Come on, come on. Oh man, I thought I got a lot more than I bargained for there, but I'm all right. It's all right. Got it. A couple over here. Oh boy. Oh boy, that's not good. That was much more than I bargained for. How in the world? How am I going to explain that one? Two more. And maybe that was it. Nice little haul. And I'll take this one too. Oh man, there's one more in there. That's okay. Grabbed it easy. I want to. Oh, that is barely. Okay, since I did goof this up and I grabbed these little guys, I guess I'm gonna have to eat this very, very tiny one right now, huh? Is this even gonna taste? And this is probably gonna taste horrible. Let's see what the spice is like, though. I deserve this. This is my penance. Oh, well. Oh, it tastes disgusting. It tastes like a very unripe pepper, believe it or not. Doesn't really have any spice to it. Has like a hint, but there's just not enough good time for any capsaicin probably to build up. This Nature's Edge looking nice. I lost a pepper there. That sucks. Hopefully not losing any more of these guys. Those two look okay. All right, two more on that 316 Nature's Edge 316 sustainable sprout. I see one in there. It's a decent size. That's ripening. Another one right there, ripening. Cool. It's just Serenity 316, looking fantastic. I don't know how many have come yet though. That's okay. It's the latest. And there is no Rebel Gardens. We lost that 316. Finally, we get to the end here. The habaneros, the orange habaneros, the classic Nature's Edge 332. You see some nice looking peppers down here, eh? Not really worried about things eating these. I mean, maybe slugs, but I think, I have a feeling that it would just kill a slug. So hot.
Sustainable sprout, not sustaining itself very well here as the leaf falls off. Again, the habaneros will tend to do that faster than the other peppers, I think, the Genen's varieties. Even worse, the Serenity from 3-2 here. Look at that giant hole in here. Talk about aerating the soil. Getting oxygen down there. Oh my goodness, are you kidding me? Are you serious? Oh wait, this is not the Rebel Gardens. That would have been insane. But it is still the Nature's Edge 3.9 first habanero to come off of here. Look at how nice and ripe that thing is. It's almost completely orange now. Oh, and it's like a bite-sized habanero. Oh man, that's tantalizing. Here, sustainable sprout also looking terrible. Another leaf falls off. Serenity looking terrible. So I'll tell you what, it looks like, as I said in the past, the jalapeno winner, definitely sustainable sprout. Cayenne winner, definitely Serenity. Maybe Nature's Edge with a runner-up there. Maybe, I don't know what would be the runner-up for the jalapenos. Might even be Rebel Gardens. Between Rebel Gardens and Serenity, I would probably have to say. But the habaneros are definitely Nature's Edge. It's the first Rebel Gardens habanero, 3.9. So these 3.9 peppers, check them out. There's the Nature's Edge, which is pretty small, but does have a ripe pepper and other peppers growing. Sustainable sprout, Serenity, Rebel Gardens, all pretty terrible. But then we hit these 316 habaneros. Well, maybe not the Rebel Gardens at the end there, but these three are all doing really nicely. And I'm actually going to have to come out and grab these because I want to. Look at this. Look at all those ripe habaneros. Yes. Yes. This is where our first one came from, the plant the first one came from. These will all be picked. I will be cordoning off, as I always do, all the different pepper brands, peppers. And I am collecting the seeds, definitely from the Nature's Edge habaneros for next generation seeds. But I'll probably try to do all of them, because why not? I think that's should be part of the pepper brand experiment, how well we can propagate a second time. But again, see, more ripe peppers now on this on the sustainable sprout, and a bunch more on there. And finally, wait. Okay, I thought this Serenity also had some, but I am mistaken. It does have some peppers growing. There's actually, this is the biggest one here. I guess it's not bad. It might not take too much longer, but there aren't any other ones. Any other substantial ones, that is. Finally, this Rebel Gardens is the best Rebel Gardens. It's not looking great. Maybe has a couple started fruits, very, very early started ones, but I don't think it'll last. I don't think any of the Rebel Gardens will end up producing, sadly enough. Maybe not even the Serenities, the way they're going. Actually, you know what? Like I said, that Rebel Gardens, it was the best one, but this one here is also Rebel Gardens. And that's probably a bigger fruit on there than on the other one. So maybe we will have one. Actually, it already looks like it's turning a little bit. I'm still wondering if the cold changes that at all. But anyway, that is it for now, guys. Right now, I'm actually coming back here just to grab these. These are the sustainable sprout. Oh my goodness, if I rip off more than I want of these, I'm going to be so mad. I didn't do it there. Yeah, I'll probably be back soon with some other video on gardening, or others, because I actually have one planned to come out soon. That's my next shot of faith. Got some other things planned to get on track with all this eventually. Some stuff came up, some things have been coming up. It's been a little hectic, but it's all right. Those are our sustainable sprout habaneros, which I guess I would have to say sustainable sprout is the second best, because it's the only other one that has any. But yeah, nice. For now, that's it, guys. Hope you enjoyed. For now, that's it. I will catch you in that video. Maybe tomorrow I'll post that, or at least record it or whatever. Have some other stuff, like I said, coming out. Stay tuned. Yeah, that's it. This is Academia Christi. This is the Viri Christi garden. This is the Viri Christi garden update. I'm Randy, the only host
here for now. I'll see you later. Peace.